Thanks for all of you that have joined. We'll be getting started in just a few minutes as we wait for others to join. Please stand by and we'll get rolling here shortly. I'd like to start by thanking everyone for joining today's webinar in office hours. The primary goal of today's session is to teach you about how to be successful getting started and selling on Amazon Handmade in general. If you've joined before, the first 20 to 30 minutes will be the same materials we've covered in previous weeks. But for those of you new to Amazon Handmade or interested in learning more and how to improve your sales or general questions, you are in the right place. My primary goal today is to not only show you the most important tools and tips for being successful, but also to demonstrate the amazing opportunity Amazon Handmade presents for small businesses and artisans like you. So today's agenda for the webinar, first I'm going to address a few commonly asked questions. Then I'll share a list of resources that you'll definitely want to save as they'll come in handy as you get to know the tools and resources available. After that, we'll cover what I like to call the 6 pillars to success, which are the fundamental factors and tools that will help you to understand how Amazon works and how to really grow your sales. Later, I'll give a quick intro to navigating Seller Central, how to list your first product, where we'll touch on important elements like titles, search terms, and other important things for creating an effective product listing. Then, once the presentation concludes, we'll open it up for office hours with questions via the chat box. And remember, at any time, if you're having issues registering your account, just let us know through the chat box, or you can contact seller support at seller-handmade-registration@amazon.com. So real quick, before we get started, I want to encourage all of you, if you haven't yet, go to our actual website, amazon.com/handmade, and actually explore the store. See how our categories are listed and how other artisans list their products. It'll be really helpful in getting to know the store when you're getting your shop set up. Now, let's jump into frequently asked questions. These are questions that we get all the time, and I want to address up front. So, first question, how much does it cost to sell on Amazon Handmade? So a lot of times there's confusion around this. The Pro Seller account, which is required, costs $39.99 a month, but is waived for our handmade artisans to the end of the year. Amazon only charges a 15% sale or referral fee only when the item is purchased. So I can't say indefinitely that we'll extend this, but there is a very likely chance. So if this is deterring you, don't let this worry you. The next question, I only just heard about Amazon Handmade. What is being done to grow the brand and gain exposure for artisans? So, we are tripling down our efforts to get more exposure for Handmade as a brand and for our artisans. We truly do want to create a marketplace that's for genuinely handcrafted goods and for artisans like you to thrive. And then last, I've heard Amazon requires you to give them ownership of all your images. This is a commonly misinterpreted part of our legal agreement, and we're not actually going to steal your product images unless it's for a promotion that we'll ask you ahead of time. You don't need to worry about us stealing your images. That's not an issue, so if that is a concern of yours, don't let it be. Okay, let's get started on the good stuff. Whether you're a brand new artisan or you haven't seen sales like you'd like to, if you follow these steps and take the time to learn our tools and resources, you will be successful if you've ever had success selling products elsewhere. And remember, I can't stress the importance enough. Growing your business on Amazon takes patience, self-discipline, and you constantly have to be up to date on best practices and really getting to know our tools. So let's take a look at the 6 pillars to success. Keep in mind, we'll go deeper on each topic here shortly. First, we'll cover important resources. I list some of the most important resources on the next slide, and these are available in the handout on the webinar app. You just need to go into the handout section and download the Word document. Number 2, perfecting your product detail page. If you've ever shopped on Amazon, this is the page where your product photos, description, and where customers can add your product to their cart. Third, product images. As many of you know, when you're shopping online, you can't pick up or feel a product. A product image is extremely important to showcasing your product and enticing customers to buy. Fourth, customer reviews. So if you've ever shopped on Amazon, you know how important product reviews and ratings are. Fifth, sponsored products, also known as Amazon advertising, helps you get your products in front of more customers and is a great tool for jumpstarting your business, and is also really affordable. And lastly, Fulfillment by Amazon, or FBA. This is an amazing service that can change your business and get your products prime. Now, let's go deeper on each topic before going into the live demo. First and foremost, know your resources. These are some of the most helpful and important resources you can leverage to learn our tools, how Amazon works, and how to really grow your business. You can download the list of all these resources via the handout within the GoToWebinar app. If you're having trouble downloading, please message us via the chat box and we'll get that over to you. The first is Artisan Advantage, which is a tutorial site where we cover each of the topics I'll be covering today, but in more detail. But also a list of resources associated with each video for more information on each topic. You want to bookmark this on your browser and make sure you have it saved. Next is the style guide. If you haven't yet, download this and save it to your computer. It's a PDF document with a ton of great resources on how to set up your listings, best practices, and just general rules and guidelines that will help you be successful when getting started. Third on the list is Seller University. Available on Seller Central, there's tutorial videos on almost every topic you can think of, and I'll show you how to easily access once we actually get into the live demo on Seller Central. If you haven't yet, follow our Artisan Advantage Facebook page at facebook.com/handmadeartisanadvantage. It's a great place for important updates, promotions, future webinars, and a lot more. Lastly, and one of the most special things about Amazon Handmade is that we have a dedicated seller support team that can help you through any of your issues or questions. You can contact them at any time at support-handmade@amazon.com or via Seller Central using the help link in the upper right-hand corner of the homepage. Now for the second pillar, perfecting your product detail page. This is the page a customer comes to after selecting your product from search results or by browsing categories. This is your opportunity to sell them with great images, descriptions, and with details about your products and reviews, all with the goal of having them add to cart and make a purchase. I'll show you where to input this information and how to do it right during the upcoming demo. Our third pillar, and one of the most absolutely critical to success, is product images. Search is the number one way that people find products on Amazon, and if you've ever shopped on Amazon, you'll know that as you're searching, products get listed in rows of product images. So your primary product image is your first and best chance to capture someone's eye. While you don't have to have it on a perfect white background, you do want your image to be well lit on a simple, non-distracting background. Props are okay as long as it's clear what the main product is and that it's clear in your product description what they'll be receiving. You don't want customers to be disappointed if they don't receive what was depicted in the product image. Lastly, make sure your product takes up about 80% of the image space. Our fourth pillar is customer reviews. This also happens to be one of the most challenging things when you're first getting started. If you've ever shopped on Amazon, ask yourself, would you buy a product without reviews? For most of us, we rely on reviews as a last gauge before making the decision to buy or not. Amazon is very protective about the integrity of its reviews, so it's important you read and follow the community guidelines available on Seller Central. The best recommendation for getting your first reviews is let customers know from other places, whether it's craft fairs, Etsy, or anywhere else, that your products are available on Amazon and you'd love their genuine product feedback. You can't solicit biased feedback, but you can ask for genuine reviews. Anyone that purchased your product from any other place, even off Amazon, can leave a product review. Again, provided it's not solicited from a biased party. You have to be careful here because Amazon has strict guidelines and will flag any suspicious activity, including if you don't have verified purchase reviews, meaning Amazon has reviewed and verified that your products have been purchased on Amazon. The fifth pillar is a powerful tool for getting your products noticed. Sponsored Products is an easy-to-use advertising tool on Amazon for getting your products in front of customers. This pay-per-click service allows you to get started in just a few minutes, where you control exactly how much you want to spend. Unlike many advertising services, Sponsored Products takes very little, if any, upfront cost with a free $50 credit you received for first getting started. Amazon knows its customers, and Sponsored Products is a great tool for having your products show up at the top of related search results, the bottom of search results, and even other product detail pages with similar products to yours. And best of all, when you get started with an automatically targeted campaign, Amazon will share with you the search terms people are using to find and buy your products, so you can then create an optimized campaign, which you can find more details about via Seller University on Seller Central. Our sixth and final pillar is Fulfillment by Amazon, or FBA, which is the most common way to get your products prime. FBA is a service Amazon provides where you take a set amount of products, and it can be as few as one. After, package them up individually following our FBA packaging guidelines, and then you send all of those units to our fulfillment center where Amazon will store your items until an order comes in. As soon as an order is received, Amazon will pick, pack, and ship with fast, free shipping to the customer. There are three primary costs for using FBA. The first is a one-time per unit fee based on the item size and weight. The second is a monthly storage fee also based on the item size and weight, but often costs pennies on the dollar. And the third is the shipping cost that it takes for you to get your items to the fulfillment center. There are other fees for different services, but these are the primary ones. You can find more information on pricing in our resources document. FBA provides a unique opportunity to reach more customers because Prime customers love Prime products. It also allows you to build up more inventory during slower parts of the year to help keep up with the holiday rush. FBA has been proven for many sellers to increase revenue and entice customers with that Prime badging, which so many customers have come to know and trust. Now, let's go into Seller Central, where I'll walk you through listing your first product and how to do it right. For Seller Central homepage, first, you should see this Handmade banner. If you don't see the Handmade banner, you might have registered wrong, so please be sure to contact our seller support team if so. Before listing your first product, as I mentioned earlier, be sure to explore our store at amazon.com/handmade and search for a product similar to yours. Now for listing your first product. From the home page, click Inventory and select Add a Product from the dropdown. For this example, I'll be listing a ceramic coffee mug. For this, I'd choose Handmade, Home and Kitchen, and then Kitchen and Dining, next Tableware, and lastly, Mugs. I'm going to skip to what the creating product looks like with the information already populated. First, title. Titles are different if you've ever sold on Etsy. It's less about adding every keyword you can think of in the title. Amazon is really making a push to make sure that titles are succinct, very clear, and they don't misinterpret the product or make sure it's aesthetically pleasing. The best way to write a title, what I've always said, is close your eyes, describe the product as clearly as you can, as simple as possible. So if somebody didn't see the picture, they could know exactly what product they're clicking into. Next, product description. Like I mentioned, when you're shopping online, people can't pick up or feel your product, so use this area to really describe the details of your product. For every field, there's a little icon you can hover over. It'll give you a little pop-up and give you more insight if you're unsure. So next I'll select pricing, quantity, and input all these required fields. Next, add as many images as you can. Make sure your default image is your best, since this will be the one that customers see when browsing or searching for products like yours. Remember, it's your first and best chance to capture a customer's eye. Okay, next is the additional info. This contains a lot of super important fields, vital to getting found. So how are your products made? This is a bit more of the process that sheds light on your process and what makes your creation so authentic. Occasion types. So these are really, really important, especially if you want to list your products in wedding, because wedding is technically not a category for us, it's a collection. So choosing wedding as an occasion type is super important. The goal, however, is not to fill out as many occasion types as possible, only ones that are most applicable. Next, I'm going to skip down to search terms. If you've ever used Etsy or other services, Amazon works a bit different. Amazon doesn't recognize commas. For search terms, put in the most logical order. For example, someone is more likely to search for brown coffee mug rather than coffee mug brown. You can open more fields and add as many words as you'd like, up to 250 characters. Amazon takes into account pluralizations, capitalizations, and different things like that, so you don't need to have all those different permutations. However, you want to make sure you put as many words as you can related to your products that customers might use when searching for products similar to yours. Do your best not to repeat words, as it doesn't help your listing and Amazon doesn't recommend it. So these are the most important factors for getting your listing set up. Real quick, I'll show you where to access a few of the things we discussed today. Back on the home page, you can navigate to Seller University by going to the Performance tab. Then select Seller University for great tutorial videos in nearly every topic you can think of. You can also easily access and set up an advertising campaign in just minutes by clicking the Advertising tab, then selecting Campaign Manager from the dropdown. So these are the main pillars, but there's always more to learn and more to know. As I mentioned earlier, being successful takes a combination of best practice, patience, but if you take the time, the opportunity has never been greater. This concludes my presentation. We'll now open it up for office hours and questions via the chat box. Thank you.